What's up, everybody? Good afternoon, and I've been putting off this video for a little bit here because, quite frankly, there was more important stuff going on in Seattle sports. But I think now is the time for me to talk a little bit about the Seattle Mariners here because, the front office is kind of cooking here, and I got to give credit where credit is due. They're saddled with an owner that has all but openly admitted that he's not willing to open up the wallet for this team. We all knew going into this offseason that things were not going to be any different than they typically were. And I, earlier this offseason, was thinking to myself, I don't think I'm going to watch the team this year, and I don't think I'm going to cover them, certainly. But as of right now, without the team breaking the bank, without the team, I don't even think they've exceeded last year's payroll or come even all that close. They've assembled a team that I'm actually intrigued by going into this season. And we've still got a couple months before the season starts. But as of right now, I think I'm intrigued enough to commit myself to paying attention to this season to see how it goes. So I'm going to talk a little bit about these moves that the Mariners have made over the last week or so. That's when the action has really happened. But overall, I think this Mariners team has found an effective way to build a roster that is better than last year's roster, and they still have some money left. They may not be done. We still have a couple months left. The offseason has basically been frozen because of Scott Boras, so there's still an opportunity to get better. But I just want to make this video to say I think DePoto's done about as good as he can do in these circumstances. The circumstances he's in are bad, but he's found a way to make this work to the point where I can safely say I'm interested in what happens to this team. And I didn't think that was going to be the case when the things that were said this earlier this offseason were said. But let's talk about some of these moves a little bit here. The first big one, the big move that came out last week, which I would have talked about at the time if I wasn't so busy with Seahawks head coach stuff. Jorge Polanco got traded to the Seattle Mariners. Now, we did give up quite a bit to get him. Gave up a couple of bullpen arms, including Justin Topa, which that's not nothing for sure. We also gave up outfield prospect Gabriel Gonzalez, which is going to definitely hurt some feelings out there, I think. But overall, this is the kind of move that we needed to make. We needed somebody like a Polanco to give us some reason to be optimistic for the 2024 season, and you got to give up stuff to get stuff. So obviously the trade in total was Gabriel Gonzalez, Darren Bowen. That's another one that some people are going to be hurting a little bit about. But these are prospects. DeSclafani, I think is how you pronounce it. DeSclafani, and of course the big one being Topa. But Jorge Polanco, if he can stay healthy, then he makes us much better. Now, that's no guarantee. He hasn't stayed healthy these last two seasons, really. Last year, he played in all of 80 games. But when he does stay healthy, he's a good player. He's not somebody who is a huge home run merchant anymore, although he did have 33 in 2021, his last fully healthy season. So the marine layer might not kill him completely the way it killed some players. Now, he's not in his prime anymore, I don't think. He is far removed from his all-star season in 2019 when he was genuinely one of the best shortstops in the league. Shortstops. But obviously here he's going to play second base. Should be pretty easy to transition. And we needed somebody like this. We needed something going on at that second base spot that has been a dead zone for us for so long. And it gives us some flexibility in the infield. So, yeah, I support this move. I know we gave up quite a bit. I'm not saying that we didn't. And obviously, this can go busto a couple different ways. He is turning 30. He is somebody who's missed a lot of time lately. But when you're in the position that we're in, where we have a owner that isn't willing to spend a lot of money, you do what you can do to mitigate that by finding guys that are going to be a little bit cheaper, guys you can trade for. And this is one of those guys. So, Polanco, I welcome to Seattle. This is obviously about a week old at this point because I didn't have a chance to talk about this when it first happened. But he makes our infield that much better, and he gives us a little more flexibility to maybe move some guys around to where we don't have to have Ty France in the lineup every single game, where we don't have to lean on third baseman X. I still don't totally know who the third baseman's going to be at this point, but it gives us a little bit of flexibility here with a really quality player. Again, we are betting on a couple of things going our way here, but even the last couple years when he's missed a lot of time, his Ops Plus has been 115. So he's been a good player even the last couple years. He just needs to actually finish a season. And that's the big one, obviously. There were a couple of other minor moves, like trading a Samad Taylor, or trading for Samad Taylor from Kansas City, obviously. Could be interesting. I doubt it'll be interesting this year, though, at least not especially so. A couple of bullpen moves. But the big one from a couple days ago would be the Gregory Santos trade from the Chicago White Sox. So after trading Topa, we knew we needed a bullpen arm, and Santos is going to be that guy. We did give up a couple of prospects, Prelander, which that's going to hurt some people, of course. But Prelander is probably never going to be better than Santos is right now, and Santos is only 24. So it's not like you're losing somebody with much higher potential than Santos is already. So realistically, that's a completely fair trade. Zach DeLoach, there's some value there, but I'm not too devastated about that one. And then I think we gave up like a third-round pick or something. And in exchange for that, which is really, I don't think that much to give up. I don't really have a big problem with this trade in terms of what we gave up. You get Gregory Santos, who, like I said, is only 24 years old, still young, has had one full season in Major League Baseball. His ERA was okay, 3.39, but this is the exciting part. His FIP was 2.65. So this is a really, really good pitcher who got saddled with incompetent fielding, so it would seem, according to the stats. This is a guy who should be able to be part of our bullpen rotation going forward. In fact, if all goes according to plan with Santos, Brash, and Munoz, I think you are looking at a situation where the Mariners might be able to go 7, 8, 9 every single game, knowing they're going to be able to shut down most opposing lineups. They're going to be able to go, I don't know exactly what the order is going to be, but it's going to be some combination of Santos, Brash, and Munoz, 7, 8, 9, meaning they can make every game a 6-inning game, where if they have the lead after 6 innings, it's going to be really tough to crack. And when you combine that with some of the other things that we've been able to do with our bullpen in previous years, where we get guys and get the most out of them, that's been kind of a Mariners thing for years now, ever since we got Dipoto, basically, and Scott Service, I would throw him in there as well. You are kind of looking at a situation here where the bullpen should be pretty much ready to go. I'd like to maybe add one more guy, but that one more guy might already be here and we just don't know about him yet because we haven't seen him. And that's kind of been the modus operandi for the Seattle Mariners in recent years. So, yeah, Dipoto actually cooked. Dipoto did about the best job that he could do right now with this situation that he's been saddled with. And I think this team is better now than they were when the season started last year. So I'm excited now. I think I'm going to be engaged this season, and I think you guys should be too. I want to spend more, but you know what? This is more important. And the fact that we still have theoretically money to spend is encouraging. I think we could make one more significant move. And at this point, if the team does go into 2024 with a lower payroll than they had in 2023, that's going to bother me. But it's not going to bother me as much as I thought it would, because I actually think this team is better anyway. And look, if they save money to make a mid-season move too, then great. But yeah, I think that's really about all I can say about this. There have been a couple other moves like the Heath Hembry signing, but I don't think that's going to mean very much this year. Although, again, with our history with the bullpen arms, could be. And yeah, that's what I got to say about this set of moves from the Mariners. It's looking pretty good. I'm still not completely sold that the Mitch Haniger thing is going to work out, because he he's so brittle, And also, even when he's been healthy lately, he hasn't exactly been playing great. But I'll give it a chance to play out. All right, I will see you guys later. Go Mariners. And we'll continue to monitor Seahawks stuff primarily on this channel, of course. But it looks like the Mariners have done enough to kind of pull me back in here. See y'all later.